From sushi cups all the way to cannoli cups, we're making the bite-sized, crowd-pleasing, absolutely delicious kind of appetizers that make your New Year's Eve party unforgettable. New Year's Eve is the perfect time to eat appetizers for dinner. If you've got friends coming over or just want to dress up your evening with some serious snacking, you're in the right place.
Today, we've got 10 easy, fancy-ish appetizers to make you feel like the host with the most.
I think sushi cups are the perfect fancy appetizer for New Year's Eve. They look really impressive, but they're actually super simple to make, and you can eat them with your hands. Start by rinsing 1 cup of sushi rice in cold water about 3 or 4 times. It doesn't have to run completely clear. This just gets rid of some of the excess starch so the rice isn't sticky or mushy. Now we're going to cook the rice according to the package directions. I cook mine 1 cup of rice to 1 1/4 cups of water for 15 minutes on a low simmer, then 10 minutes sitting off the heat. Okay, I think the rice has cooled down enough now. I'm just going to add 1 tablespoon of seasoned rice vinegar right over there, drizzle it on, and then we're going to use a wooden spoon to sort of cut it in. You're not really stirring it here as much as sort of just cutting through it. This helps mix it without making it gummy. I'll set this aside for now and we can season the salmon. I'm using a 3-ounce fillet of salmon. Season it on both sides with salt and pepper. All right, we're gonna cook the salmon on medium-low heat for about 5 to 6 minutes until it reaches 125 degrees Fahrenheit. We want to cook this low and slow so that it doesn't overcook and become dry and crumbly. Grab your rice and a mini muffin tin like this. I'm using a silicone one. It makes it really easy to pop the rice cups out. Press about 2 tablespoons of rice into a mini muffin tin cup. Really pack it down so that the cups will hold their shape. Once you've finished them all, you can put them in the fridge for about 20 minutes to set up. That'll keep them from falling apart. While everything's still chilling, it's a great time to mix up this sauce. You just need some mayo, sriracha, and soy sauce. Mix it up well. This is the creamy, spicy topping you're gonna wanna drizzle all over everything. I like to spoon it into a little squeeze bottle so that I can just drizzle it over the top of the sushi cup. All right, the rice cakes are firmed up. You need to make a small indentation in the cups to hold the toppings. Use your thumb or find something flat and press down firmly. Dipping it in water will keep it from sticking. I'm just gonna take these out. They should pop right out if you're using a silicone muffin tin. This is where it all comes together. Fill each cup with a couple of edamames, cucumber, and avocado, then add the salmon. Drizzle over that sriracha mayo. And then to finish it off, I'm going to sprinkle it with a little bit of furikake. This is a really delicious Japanese seasoning with some sesame seeds and a little bit of seaweed. And this is just going to give it that perfect last sushi finish. They're like a little sushi roll. So addictive and very easy to eat.
These crab cakes are a little bit fancy and absolutely perfect for New Year's. They're baked, not fried, and served with a velvety Dijon cream sauce that is amazing. Start by tossing 15 saltine crackers into a food processor and pulse until you've got fine crumbs. This gives the cake a light texture without weighing them down. In a big bowl, whisk together an egg, mayo, chopped parsley, Dijon mustard, Worcestershire, lemon juice, Old Bay seasoning, and a pinch of salt. Stir in the cracker crumbs and 16 ounces of jumbo lump crab meat. Use a spatula to gently fold everything together. You want to keep those big chunks of crab intact. Scoop out about half a cup of the mixture and form it into a rough patty. We're not making meatballs here, so don't compact them into little balls. Once you've finished forming all the cakes, chill them in the fridge for 30 minutes to help them hold their shape. If you want to make the crab cakes ahead of time, this is the perfect spot to do it. Instead of chilling them, you want to freeze them. The best part is you don't have to thaw them before you bake them, which is great. What a time saver. But you are going to want to brush the tops with melted butter before you put them in the oven. This helps them get that golden, delicious crust without frying. Bake them at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 to 15 minutes. While those are baking, let's make the sauce. In a skillet, you want to add just a little bit of olive oil, not too much, just for the onions. Then we're going to saute the onions for about 5 minutes. Add the garlic and cook for 30 seconds more. Turn the heat to medium, and then we're going to pour in a 1/4 cup of white wine. We want to reduce this, so let's cook it for about 3 minutes. Then add beef stock, heavy cream, and Dijon mustard. Whisk it all together and simmer it until it thickens, which will take about 5 minutes. Once it's creamy and reduced, we're going to pour it into a blender, or in my case, a bullet, and we're going to blend it until it's smooth. This is the perfect sauce for crab. It's tangy, rich, and so flavorful. We're going to make these look so good, they're going to be the first thing your guests want to eat. Plate them up and drizzle a little sauce over the top. Then sprinkle on some chopped chives. These are definitely worth splurging for the crab.
I had these delicious pork belly rice crackers once at a winery lunch, and I could not wait to make them at home. Your guests probably will not have tried something like this before, so it'll be a delicious little surprise. If you haven't cooked pork belly before, don't worry, it's not difficult, and you can get pork belly these days at most grocery stores, from anywhere from Costco to Walmart. You want skin off, and you want them to be in little slices, so if you're going to get a slab of pork belly, you want to cut it up into slices like this, about 1/2 inch thick. I've got about 1 pound of sliced pork belly here. To start, I'm just going to marinate it in hoisin sauce, brown sugar, and soy sauce. You can do this for just 20 minutes or up to 24 hours. It's up to you. All right, preheat your oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit, and then grab a baking sheet. We're just gonna line this with tin foil. That's gonna make cleanup a lot easier. Set your pork belly slices right on the baking sheet and then cook it for 15 minutes. Flip it over and continue cooking it for another 15 minutes. Not all the strips are gonna be the same size, so yours might need more or less time than mine. You don't wanna overcook them or they'll be dry and tough, but they should be slightly caramelized and squishy when poked. Let them rest for 10 minutes before slicing, and during that time you can make the topping. For the fresh, crunchy topping, you want the cucumber and radish chopped up finely, just like this. Once that pork belly is cool, you can slice it up. Now, to assemble this appetizer, top each cracker with a pork belly slice and a little bit of that crispy salad on top. Remember that sriracha mayo we made? We're gonna top this with that as well. The salad keeps the pork from being too rich, and they are delicious.
Now we're 4 snacks deep into our party prep, and I'm making salmon skewers with an irresistible dill sauce. These are bite-sized skewers. They don't take a lot of time to make, and they're super easy to eat. Start by tossing the cubed salmon with olive oil, lemon pepper seasoning, and salt. Be light with the salt if your lemon pepper seasoning already has it in there. Thread a piece of salmon onto your skewer, and then a thin slice of lemon, and then another piece of salmon. Place the skewers on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Make sure they're spaced out so they have room to cook evenly. Bake these at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for just 6 minutes. While those bake, let's mix up this delicious dill sauce. In a bowl, combine chopped fresh dill, finely chopped red onion, lemon juice, olive oil, and mayo. Season with salt and pepper and give it a good stir. When the salmon is cooked through and flaky, drizzle the dill sauce right over the top. Sprinkle with some fresh dill to finish it off. The key to these skewers is not to overcook the salmon. If you cook it too long, it'll get dry and tough. But if you hit that sweet spot, you'll have a truly incredible bite.
We must be on a salmon kick. The next appetizer is gonna give that salmon skewer a run for its money. This is just a light bite, fresh and crunchy cucumber with a little bit of avocado and nicely seasoned salmon on top. I'm using a 3-ounce salmon fillet that I cooked over medium-low heat for about 5 minutes. Put the salmon in a bowl and mix in the soy sauce and togarashi seasoning. Give that a good stir. Now we can slice the cucumber. Keep the skin on for more color and texture. Just slice it to about 1/8 inch thick, like this. Pat the pieces dry with a paper towel so they aren't too watery. For the avocado dressing, blend together half an avocado, mayo, cilantro, lime juice, and salt. If it's too thick, you can add a splash of water. You can just spoon this sauce right onto the cucumbers, but I like to put it in a little baggie so that I can swirl it on. It just makes it look a little bit more fancy. To assemble these, swirl some of that avocado mayo onto the cucumber, then top it with a spoonful of the marinated salmon. Finish with a few microgreens or baby herbs for that final chefy touch.
These beef Wellington bites are everything that you love about the classic, but they're bite-sized, make-ahead friendly, and party approved. You know, I don't think many of us are gonna make a whole beef Wellington at home, so this is a great way to try it without all the work. We're starting by cubing some beef tenderloin. Just cut them into 1-inch cubes. Season them with some salt and pepper. Sear the beef in a hot skillet with a little oil, just until they're browned on all sides. It should only take 2 to 3 minutes. Don't overcook them. It's easy to do because they're so small, but we're going for a nice medium rare in the end. Set the seared beef aside to rest while we build the flavor base. In the same pan, add just a little bit more oil, and then we're gonna saute the onions and the mushrooms. Cook them over medium-low for about 10 minutes until they're softened and a little golden. Stir in the soy sauce, oregano, and a little more pepper for depth. Let that simmer for a minute. Then add all of that to the food processor or food chopper. Add in the pitted black olives and pulse it until it's a nice chunky paste. This is a duxil. It's the savory, briny flavor for our little bites. All right, we're just gonna set this aside while we roll out the puff pastry. Cut each sheet into 3-inch squares. Add a small swipe of Dijon mustard in the center of each, followed by a spoonful of the mushroom mixture. Top each square with a piece of beef. Then fold the corners up and over to seal it all in. Press the edges lightly to secure it. Place the bundle seam side down on a parchment-lined baking sheet. Then brush the tops with beaten egg for that golden glossy finish. Bake these at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 10 to 15 minutes. You're looking for the puff pastry to be puffed up and golden brown. While those are baking, let's make the sauce. In a skillet, you want to add just a little bit of olive oil. Then we're going to saute the onions for about 5 minutes. Add 1 minced garlic clove and cook for 30 seconds more. Turn the heat to medium, and then we're gonna pour in a 1/4 cup of white wine. We wanna reduce this, so let's cook it for about 3 minutes. Then stir in the beef stock, heavy cream, and Dijon mustard. Simmer it until it thickens slightly. Blend it until it's smooth. Then pour it into a serving bowl. Doesn't that look perfect for dipping? These little bites look fancy. They taste incredible and they're just 2 bites, so they're super easy to eat while you're mingling. Definitely a crowd favorite.
If you want an appetizer that's cozy and classy, these roast beef and caramelized onion crostini are the way to go. They combine toasty bread, melty cheese, and a zippy little sauce that we love. Start out by thinly slicing your onion. I'm using a small yellow onion, that's gonna be enough for me today. And I'm just gonna heat it in a pan with about a tablespoon of oil. I'm using this great 0 acre cultured oil. It's got a neutral flavor and low carbon footprint. I really like this stuff. And we're just gonna cook these onions in here low and slow for about 20 to 25 minutes. They're gonna caramelize and get all nice and sweet. You're looking for deep, golden, sweet caramelized magic. While the onions are caramelizing, that's gonna take a little while. I have preheated the oven to 350 degrees and I'm just gonna spray my crostinis. You can make as many as you want. I'm just making 10 today. And we're just gonna spray them with a little bit of olive oil. You can also brush them with some olive oil. Just will help them crisp up nicely. Okay, now I'm gonna push this aside and get the other pieces ready. We've got some roast beef. This is thinly sliced from the deli. Just cut it into about 2-inch wide strips. And this is gonna go on top of our crostini. And then I also have some Gruyere cheese, and I'm just gonna slice that up as well into little pieces to put on top of the crostini. And when you've got that done, let's see, I'll probably cut those in half again. So we've got little pieces. Then I'm just gonna top the crostini with the cheese. So now I've got these little squares. I'm just gonna probably put 2 of those on each piece of bread. We're gonna bake these crostini at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 8 minutes. That's just enough time to get the bread crispy and the cheese all melty. While that's in the oven, we can make the sauce. Whisk together the mayonnaise, Dijon mustard, horseradish, Cajun seasoning, hot sauce, and just a dash of Worcestershire sauce. Whisk it all up. When the crostini are ready, layer on a slice of roast beef, some caramelized onions, and finish it with a drizzle of that sauce. Top it all off with a few basil leaves for that herby finish. They're so easy to make, perfect for New Year's Eve. Wow, that's good.
These dirty martini deviled eggs are exactly what they sound like. Classic deviled egg goodness with a boozy little twist. Start by peeling 6 hard-boiled eggs. I like to start these off in cold water and cook them for 12 minutes. And then I put them in an ice bath for 12 more minutes. Slice them in half lengthwise. Pop the yolks into a bowl and set the whites aside. To the yolks, add mayo, a splash of gin, yes gin, olive brine, and garlic powder. Season it with some salt and pepper. Then mash it up until it's smooth. I'm also going to add some chopped green olives and some parsley. These add tons of flavor and a little bit of texture to the mix. Spoon or pipe the filling back into the egg whites. Top each egg with a green olive and a little cracked black pepper for good measure. They're basically cocktail hour in a bite. I really like this variation of a classic deviled egg. As soon as you try them, you'll see why.
Now it's time for a little sweet bite. I am making mini cannoli cups. Years ago, I made actual cannoli for a friend's birthday, and it was a complete disaster. Turns out making cannoli is not that easy. You have to roll the dough, fit it onto molds, and then deep fry it. And let me tell you, there was oil everywhere. It was not pretty. So, long story short, I am making mini cups this time because this is gonna be way easier. I've got store-bought pie crust that I've rolled out on a floured surface, and I'm just gonna sprinkle on some brown sugar and cinnamon. And let me just grab the roller, and I'm just gonna roll this gently, and this will help the sugar and cinnamon to stick to the dough. Using a 2.5-inch cookie cutter, cut out little rounds from the dough. Then we're just gonna press these into a little mini muffin tin. Just push them down in there with your fingers so you've got a nice little cup. All done. These are going into a 425-degree oven for about 10 to 12 minutes. You want them nice and golden and crispy. While those are baking, let's make the ricotta filling. I've got about 8 ounces of ricotta here, and I'm adding 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, a tablespoon of granulated sugar, 1/2 teaspoon orange zest, and 1/2 teaspoon vanilla. Mix it until it's creamy. Just scoop this filling right into a piping bag. You could also use a zip top bag if you don't have a piping bag. Let's try to get all of it. And we're just gonna refrigerate this until we're ready to serve it, because these little cannolis are best filled right before you're ready to use them. That'll keep the cup nice and crisp. Let these cool in the pan for about 10 minutes. When you're ready to go, pipe about a tablespoon of filling into each cup. Then top them with mini chocolate chips and chopped pistachios. These little cannoli bites are perfect for a party, and I didn't have to splash oil all over the kitchen to make them.
Finally, we're ending the night with these mini tiramisu cups. If you like tiramisu for dessert as much as I do, then you are gonna love these. We're gonna start by getting everything ready to go. We've got a smooth, creamy mascarpone layer, and we've got a coffee liquid that we're gonna dip our ladyfingers in. So let's get started with that. Combine 1 cup of cooled brewed espresso or strong coffee with 2 tablespoons of coffee liqueur. In case you didn't catch it, we made our own coffee liqueur a couple of weeks ago in our Christmas gift episode. You should check it out. It's really great in desserts like this. In a separate bowl, mix together the softened mascarpone, sugar, and vanilla extract. With a handheld mixer, blend it really well until it's smooth and creamy. This gives the filling that light, mousse-like texture. Yes, Laura, I am using all the bowls for this one. I tried cutting back, but it just isn't possible. So, the next thing that we need to make for our delicious little tiramisu cups is some whipped topping. It's just whipped cream, and I'm gonna whip it to soft peaks. Gently fold the mascarpone mixture in the whipped cream until it's fully combined and fluffy. It should be thick enough to hold upside down on a spoon, but still pillowy. If you mix it too much, it'll start to fall and get heavy. Okay, everything's ready to go. So we're ready for the lady fingers. I've halved these so that they'll fit into the little cups that I got. Aren't these cute? Perfect. Dip the lady fingers into the coffee mixture. Just a quick dunk. And layer them into the bottom of your serving cups. Top it with a generous spoonful of cream, then repeat with another layer of coffee-dipped lady fingers. And a final layer of that dreamy filling. Dust the tops with a little bit of unsweetened cocoa powder. And if you're feeling fancy, sprinkle on some dark chocolate shavings. I know you want to eat them right now. I definitely do. But the flavors need to meld and chill, so they need to go in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours before you eat them. The lady fingers soaked up tons of coffee flavor, and they're the perfect size for a small little treat at the end of the night. There are so many fancy little bites. Your guests aren't gonna know where to start, and just enough sparkle to make it feel like a party. Even if you're like me and plan to be in your PJs by 9.
From crispy, creamy, caramelized, and sweet, we hope at least one of these makes it onto your holiday table this year.
And don't forget to subscribe. We have plenty more delicious things planned for the new year, and you won't want to miss them.